What up YouTube, and welcome to my NBA Rookie of the Year prediction video. The Rookie of the Year award is given at the end of the year to the first year player that has the largest impact on his team in the best statistical season. With that in mind, let's get into my top 5 candidates for the award and ultimately who I believe will win. My number 5 candidate is Ben Simmons. Simmons was the number 1 overall pick in this year's draft out of LSU and had an impressive showing in the Summer League. I can't lie, I was a little skeptical of Simmons coming out of college, simply because I wasn't sure if his game would translate well to the NBA. But the more I watched of him, the bigger fan I became. His combination of size, athleticism, and vision is LeBron-esque, as crazy as that sounds, but I think it speaks to how special of a player Simmons is. After an impressive Summer League showing, Simmons was the clear frontrunner for the Rookie of the Year award, and he was certainly my pick to win. However, as we all know, Simmons unfortunately suffered a foot fracture prior to the preseason and is expected to be out at least 6 to 8 weeks, although the timetable for his return is still questionable. With Simmons out for the beginning of the season, it has made the debate for Rookie of the Year much more interesting. Simmons has become more of a long shot to win the award after his injury. I still have him on my list as a candidate for Rookie of the Year, however, because he still has a chance to win. For Simmons to win, he will need to be producing at a very high level when he returns. The only way I see him winning is if he has a stellar second half of the season and blows the rest of the rookies out of the water. Although I personally don't believe he will win, it will be interesting to see how he does when he returns. Taking a look at Simmons' stats, you can see how special of a player he is. Although it was just Summer League, Simmons definitely impressed, especially when it came to passing. He led the Utah Summer League in assists per game with 5.5 and clearly looked like the best player on the floor when he played. He has the potential to be a stat sheet stuffer and a near triple-double machine. If you take a look at his college stats, you will see that only his assists kept him from averaging a triple-double, and I believe this was more because of the quality of his teammates rather than his vision and passing ability. All in all, Simmons is a long shot to win the award now, but I couldn't make a Rookie of the Year video and not include him. My number 4 candidate is Brandon Ingram. Ingram was the number 2 overall pick in this year's draft out of Duke. Ingram's impressive scoring ability and lengthy frame has immediately drew comparisons to Kevin Durant. Durant was able to win Rookie of the Year coming off just 1 year at Texas. As far as Ingram, I don't see him replicating KD's early success. Beyond just his body type, Ingram has drew this comparison because of his ability to just flat out score the ball. Ingram is certainly a gifted player and has lots of potential to become a star. However, I don't think we will see much of this potential this year. His coach Luke Walton has already made the decision to bring Ingram off the bench, behind the newly signed veteran Luol Deng, and the Lakers seem to be more focused on making D'Angelo Russell the team leader this year. They seem to think of Ingram as a guy that's going to need time to develop rather than being a key starter out of the gate. I think this will hurt Ingram's chances of winning the award drastically. With Clarkson, Russell, Randall, and even Lou Williams and Nick Young seeing a considerable amount of playing time, I don't think Ingram will see enough touches to really shine, as each of those guys are more scoring-oriented players than pass-first type players. Taking a look at Ingram's stats, you can see that he's struggling to really get going this preseason, averaging only 8 points per game. However, it's important to note he's progressively getting better and better in the preseason. He started off on only 2 points on 0 of 5 shooting, but last night Ingram was able to score 21 points on 7 of 10 shooting. Ingram is a talented player, but I think he's going to need some time to adjust to the NBA. Pairing that with his potential lack of minutes and touches is why I have him just outside my top 3. My number 3 candidate is Kris Dunn. Dunn was the number 5 overall pick in this year's draft out of Providence College. He is an excellent perimeter defender and has one of the most NBA-ready skill sets out of anyone in this year's draft class. Dunn is the favorite by many to win the Rookie of the Year award. A poll just recently came out where NBA GMs voted him most likely to win the award now that Simmons is out. Currently, Dunn will be coming off the bench to start the season behind Ricky Rubio. If Dunn stays on the bench for the majority of the season, I find it hard to believe he will win, as he will be competing with Towns, Wiggins, and even LaVine as far as scoring. Many people believe he will eventually move up to starter though, either by the Timberwolves trading Ricky Rubio, which has been rumored, or by just simply playing his way into the starting lineup. The sooner Dunn gets into the starting lineup, the better his chances of winning the award, as currently the only thing really holding him back is playing time. If we take a look at Dunn's stats this preseason, we can see that he struggled massively, scoring just about 5 points a game. This is completely different from what we saw from Dunn in the Summer League, where he shined, scoring 24 points a game to go along with 7 boards. He most likely would have been Summer League MVP had he not gotten injured. Dunn's main obstacle in Minnesota is going to be playing time and scoring. If he is able to consistently start early, I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes the front runner. But as it stands currently, I can't see him outperforming my top two candidates. My runner-up for the award is Joel Embiid. Embiid was the number 3 overall pick in the 2014 draft, but I sat out the past 2 seasons due to injury, technically making this year his rookie season. Embiid has pretty much become the YouTube consensus pick for Rookie of the Year, and for good reason. Embiid is an incredibly athletic 7-footer with impressive footwork for his size, and he can even hit the occasional 3. He's a solid free throw shooter and seems to be a board crasher in the little bit of action he's seen in preseason. It's important to note that the 76ers don't have a true superstar, so I wouldn't be surprised if they force feed Embiid at times, because outside of Okafor, he's probably their best scoring option. Embiid no doubt has the potential to become one of the league's most dangerous young players. It's not his talent that I question, but it's rather his playing time. How much playing time will Embiid actually receive this season? Well, first, Embiid is coming off the bench behind Okafor for at least the start of the season. There's been many trade rumors regarding Noel and Okafor, and Noel has even voiced his discontent with having 3 young big men on the roster. That being said, no moves have been made, so I'm making my prediction on the current state of the team. If coming off the bench isn't bad enough, multiple reports have stated that Embiid is likely going to be on a minute restriction because they don't want to risk injury, especially early in the season. His coach has mentioned that he wants Embiid to be a focal point of the offense, but mentioned that it's going to take time, and that the 76ers organization knows this. Looking at Embiid's stats this preseason, you can see he's put up great numbers on limited minutes. 10 points and 5.5 rebounds is great production in just 14 minutes. What worries me is he had 7 turnovers one game, which is 4 more than his previous high. So I'm not sure if this was just an off game, but if he's going to contend this year, he needs to take better care of the ball. Overall, Embiid has definitely become a frontrunner in this year's race with his play in the preseason. If he's let loose early and stays healthy, he could certainly win. But as of right now, he doesn't seem to be getting enough minutes in fear of injury to really put up rookie-leading stats, and that's why I have him as my runner-up. And finally, my pick for Rookie of the Year, Buddy Hield. Hield was the number 6 overall draft pick in this year's draft out of Oklahoma. Originally my frontrunner was Simmons, but after his injury, Hield has become my favorite for the award, and here's why. Over the last 10 years, just about every winner of Rookie of the Year led their class in both minutes per game and points per game. The only exceptions were Kyrie Irving, who finished 3rd in minutes per game, and Derrick Rose, who finished 2nd in scoring and minutes per game, to OJ Mayo. With Evans and Holiday out, Hield easily will have the biggest role of any rookie, especially early in the season. As of right now, E'Twaun Moore is expected to be the Pelicans' starting shooting guard. This was shocking to me at first because when the Pelicans picked Hield, I thought he would immediately be the starter. But it seems like the Pelicans and Alvin Gentry want Hield to work his way into the starting lineup. I don't think this will take long though, as Hield is the superior scorer when compared to Moore. Whether Hield's coming in off the bench or starting for the Pelicans, they are really going to rely on Hield's shooting ability a lot this year, especially with the injuries. This means that Hield will most likely lead all rookies in minutes per game, which in turn should mean that he leads all rookies in scoring as well, because that's what he's known for. Going off previous history of the award, you can see that Hield should have the best chance to win, granted that he can play at a high level. Hield is probably the best shooter in his class and had a breakout senior season for the Sooners last year. He improved every year at Oklahoma and should be ready to have a big impact for the Pelicans, who are currently in desperate need of scoring. If we take a look at Hield's preseason stats, we can see that the scoring is a little lower than expected, at just about 13 a game, and what really surprises me is his 26% from 3-point range. This doesn't worry me though, because it's just a small sampling, and 1 or 2 bad games can really skew his average. I believe once the season starts and he sees consistent minutes, he'll be closer to the 35% range, if not higher. Hield is a very confident shooter, and he's a type of player to shoot his way out of a slump, so I'm expecting him to do so come the regular season. Hield struggled and wasn't impressive in the Summer League, despite putting up 17 points per game. He only shot about 33% from the floor. Hield has come out publicly and said that he is pissed about Summer League, and he has used his shaky play as just even more motivation. I think the shaky Summer League was just what he needed, as he came back better in the preseason. Hield's confidence and increased role this year makes him my pick for Rookie of the Year, as it will most likely lead to Hield leading all rookies in points per game and minutes per game, which seem to be the deciding factors for the award, especially over the past 10 years. To conclude, this is just my early prediction. There are a lot of factors that could change the award race drastically. That being said, let me know if you agree or disagree, and if you disagree, let me know who you think will win in the comments below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.